Okay, so I want to talk about this little story, right? And something that happened 2 years ago. I got Tinder. I built a profile, made a profile, took some nice pictures. Everything was okay, I looked okay. I looked good. I guess I looked good. Whatever. I got a couple of matches, got a couple of dates. It was alright. But there's something that happened near the time before I deleted the app, um, and it was very interesting because it hammers on the point of having extreme low self-esteem. So I was swiping, that day, that time, I was just left, right, left, 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 right, right, left, left, right, left, 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 and whatever. And I stumbled upon this one girl. She looks amazing. She was pretty much my type, exactly, almost exactly my type, right? And I'm just like, damn, she looks good. So I check out her photos. Profile bio doesn't really say much, and I'm like, well, okay. And I'm about to hit the like, the heart or swipe right or some shit, and something stops me. There was a thought in my head where I said to myself, I was like, why the hell would you waste your swipe on someone you know is not gonna like you back? And I just sat there. Because I don't pay for Tinder, right? And if you don't pay for it, you get like a limited amount of swipes every day. So I didn't know how many swipes I had left, but I was thinking to myself, why would you waste a swipe on someone you know is not gonna swipe right on you? Why not just swipe left on this person because you know they're going to say no to you, right? If they see your profile, she's not gonna like me. She sees my profile, she's not gonna like me. So why the hell am I just gonna, swipe right instead of swiping left, which is gonna waste my like when I could use the like on someone who would actually swipe right on me? And that was the conversation, right? It was just those kind of thoughts looping in my head. And I sat there for, I don't even know how long it was, but it was 5 minutes plus minus, just thinking those thoughts. Put my phone, like, I had my phone in my hands and I was just like, right? I was just, I was really stuck in that sort of loop of just having those thoughts because I grew up being seen as very unattractive, very fat and ugly and a loser. And then after some time, I got skinny and I was just a skinny weakling and I was ugly. But now I'm not skinny or fat. I'm fit to some degree. I'm trying to get jacked. A little bit of this and that. I'm doing my best. I'm doing what I can, whatever. But I'm okay, right? And I'm not as ugly, I guess. I think. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm still ugly, but at least I'm fit, right? At least I have muscles. And I was new to being seen as attractive. So in my mind, it was just out of my reality to conceptualize this particular female human being who I found extremely attractive. It was out of my reality to see her being attracted to me, to see her liking me, right? And that's what I mean when I say we have low self esteem. Now, maybe this is you, maybe it's not you. If it's not you, great. But this was me. And just, it's something I really had to work through. It's something I had to dig myself out of that abyss because holy shit, man, the amount of times I rejected myself when I was younger is kind of crazy. I the idea is that you will ultimately reject yourself before the other person has had the opportunity to reject you. You will you will self-sabotage situations that you could have actually gotten great results from because of the way you view yourself, because of the way you think about you. And that's what I want to get at. That's what I'm trying to say when it comes to this idea of okay, your looks and your self-worth and your self-esteem. Your looks could be way up here, man, but if your self-worth is down here, like yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. My words just English has escaped me, but yeah, that's it. You'll just do whatever you can to put yourself in situations where you're not going to succeed, or do whatever you can to avoid success, to avoid this new realm in which you are not familiar with, where a pretty girl actually likes you. Now you're like, holy shit, what do I do? what, what do I do? I've never gotten this far in the game, right? Um, and that's what happened. So I looked at this profile for like 5 minutes or some shit. I don't remember the exact time, but I was just there for plus minus 5 minutes. And then I was just like, dude, fuck it, man. And I just swiped right. And then I got hit with the it's a match. How about that? Right? How about that? It's a match. What that means is she saw my profile before I saw hers. And as a result, well, of seeing my profile, she liked me. And then because she liked me, algorithm puts her in my face. And here I am, the girl already likes me. Yet here I am in my own head saying, swipe left because she's not gonna like you. This person isn't gonna like you. This person is out of your league. So whatever the fuck that means. But essentially the idea is that she's not attainable. She's above my caliber or whatever the fuck. And the crazy part is the fact that she had already liked me prior to me even seeing her profile. That means she saw me and she was like, shit, I like this guy. This guy looks good. This guy, whatever the fuck they think. Or maybe she was just swiping right. Who knows? Who knows? Just swipe right. And then she saw me, ew. And then she swiped right by mistake. Perhaps, right? We don't know. But she liked me already. All I had to do was swipe right and like her back. Yet here I was in my own head for a whole 5 minutes. And I could have like thrown away that quote unquote opportunity to meet a new person who is actually attractive to me, who actually meets my physical standards, right? And it's crazy to think about that. It was just crazy to me. At first, I didn't reflect on it as much as I have now, of course, but there was a moment of reflection saying that, dude, I'm. It's like what the hell? She liked me. What the hell? Right? And and then there was a period of just thinking like, why the like, I need to switch this thing of not seeing myself as someone who is liked by attractive people because clearly I am. Clearly, right? There's something they see. And I almost it's that's the point I want to get at. You self-sabotage. You throw opportunities away because your self-esteem is not used to receiving opportunities of a particular caliber. You in terms of cold approach, you approach a girl and you're used to being perceived as here. Whatever this is, let's say 1 to 10 again. Zero being the bottom, 0 to 10, zero being bottom, 10 being the top. Your looks are wherever the hell they are, right? But your self worth and self esteem is down here. So whatever the person thinks of you doesn't matter. Let's say they see you as like, wow, you're amazing. You see yourself as this. So you will drop their view of you to meet this. And then they'll be low key disappointed. That's what makes them pull away. That's what makes them think, you know what? I thought you were something, but you're a loser. That's what makes the spark in their eyes fizzle out. They look at you like, oh my gosh, you approach me. Oh my gosh, you're so great. And you talk for a bit and you watch as the fire fucking dies. And you, in your mind, you're like, well, you try to save it. Can I get your number? And she's like, no, I have a boyfriend. Or it's like, oh shit, nice to meet you. Somewhere in the, or I'm gonna say, I have to go now, but it was nice meeting you. And she just exits the conversation because she sees that, oh, this guy isn't who I thought he was or I wanted him to be. There's a standard that everybody sets. Everybody judges everybody else. Books by their covers, yeah. As much as people might want to say no, the reality is yes. So what happens is that because you're used to being perceived at a particular level, you show of yourself this particular level. And the idea I'm trying to convey is that you need to learn and understand that this is something that actually happens and change it, fix it, develop yourself so that You no longer see yourself as being down here, regardless of what's happened to you, regardless of where you are. And it's kind of crazy to say that because there are a lot of things that can happen to people, a lot of fucked up things. But you need to find a way to build your self esteem to a point where you start to view yourself as someone who is up here. So if someone sees you, let's say your physical appearance isn't the greatest, someone sees you and they just think that, oh, this person's going to be somewhere down here because they're ugly or they're fat or they're skinny and weak. It's better to be skinny than it is to be fat in terms of being attractive, but whatever. So whatever, wherever you're at, let's say you're just somewhere down here. The person's gonna be like, oh, I expect them to be something down here, but your actual self worth and self esteem is way up here, dude. You're gonna be that guy. People will be like, wow, who the hell is this guy? You know, I never would have expected this from him, right? Because you have that core confidence, you have that core self worth, you've built up your self esteem, and the thing I do want to say is that sometimes what happens is when people have this sort of I wanted to say the word disparity. I don't think it's the right word to use here. But this sort of imbalance, self worth is much higher than their physical appearance, self esteem is much higher than physical appearance. What happens is that it's generally not grounded in reality. It's generally grounded in some other thing. So perhaps a person has a lot of money and they're a leader in their business field. So they feel like, oh, I'm up here, blah, blah, blah. And they, convey this and the person gets attracted. But the more you get to know them, the more that you realize that this person isn't all that. This person has no core confidence. This person is, it's just the money that makes them confident, or it's just this or that or the third thing, right? It's all these external factors. My point is that you need to build that source of validation from within. You can't rely on external forces. There's a quote by Epictetus where he says, um, shit, I forgot what he says. But he says something along I think the ending part of the quote is, personal merit cannot be derived from an external source. What does it say? He says, don't put your strength in others. There is no merit in it. There is no strength in it. Personal merit cannot be derived from an external source. I don't know the first part, but that's how it ends, right? And the idea stands. Personal merits cannot be derived from an external source. So, because it cannot be derived from an external source, it must come from within. And that's what I want that's what I want. That's the message I essentially want to convey. That so long as the personal merit, your self worth, your self esteem, your courage, whatever we will call this thing. Let's just say self esteem. Your self esteem, as long as it's balanced, your confidence, core confidence. That's what we'll call it. Your confidence is reliant on external factors, external things. Like let's say you're jacked. Oh, I'm confident because I'm jacked. And then maybe I guess it's hibernation season, winter hits, and instead of staying jacked, you start eating a bit more. You develop a layer of fat to get cozy, to keep warm. And now you're feeling like, oh, I'm a loser. I'm a loser because I'm fat now. And it's like, yeah, that's not okay. Or maybe something happens and then you can't train for a while and now you just feel like a loser because you're not jacked anymore. That's not okay. You cannot have that core confidence rooted in something outside of yourself. That's a big problem. A lot of people do that with money. A lot of people do that with material possessions. A lot of people do that with the idea of girls. I can get validation from girls and feel good about myself because I can get girls. That is something that also happens, and I mean, with time we'll talk about those topics, but right now we're not there. We're here. But the idea is just your personal merit, your core confidence must come from within. And when it comes from within, it comes from those things that you're genuinely able to do. I spoke in the previous video about people claiming accolades they don't actually deserve. People claiming these sort of, I don't know, people acting like they can fight. I can fight, I can fight. I can get girls. I know how to talk to girls, and it's like I know how to fix a car or whatever. All these manly things to do. Real men know how to do this. I'm a real man. It's crazy. I ended the video. That's why it cut. I ended the video by mistake. Press the space bar. But yeah, no, people genuinely say that shit, and it's like, as much as you might say you're a real man, I'm a real boy. You're a real man. So long as you haven't actually developed those skills, you your esteem is fragile, and your ego is built off of a false foundation that doesn't actually exist. And because it doesn't exist, it falls apart very easily. And you have little control over the it's falling apart because the structure is never will never be stable until you root it and ground it in reality. So, with that being said, understand the fact that there is this problem of self-worth and self-esteem, and it's important. It's a key point. I just want to mention this before we get into it. It's a key point to mention that with developing the self-esteem, to a degree, it's the most important thing, but that isn't to disregard everything else. To a degree, it's, yeah, the most important thing, but again, you do not disregard the rest. You don't say, oh, because I have 75%, I'm good. No, there's a whole 25% of this particular sort of subject that if you don't have, you don't win, you don't pass, you don't succeed. You have to come full circle. And that's the only point in which you'll actually achieve success.